couch. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in really scuffling, losers of 7 of their last 8 games.
And they've been an underachieving team, but they do have some pretty good pieces in place. Let's see if they can use some of the younger guys and make themselves better.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On second down now, it's Cook, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 41, Cousins. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And, partner, let me make a quick pivot here. Season winding down. They're number 32 in offense this year. The last in the league. Where do they go?
Anywhere and everywhere. But they have to do it with a plan. And I think about Atlanta a bunch of years ago. They decided they wanted to get
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Tannehill. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Danielle Hunter getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Eric Kendricks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there. This is a pretty good kick. Returnable here from the 38. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They go play action. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 23 yards on the play. 6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run. Cook. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. You tighten up.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Cousins on first down. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The end result, 21 yards.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now Ryan Tannehill becomes a focus. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Running on first down with Ware. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Vikings. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done.
He's got a man complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one goes for 30 yards. It's a great throw right there, and really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time. but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you could be costing your team a timeout.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Never make the mistake of the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Gun.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Bring it. Bring it. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Cousins to throw for it on fourth. It's complete to Diggs. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
He's got this to his running back, Spencer Ware. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And this is Shepard on the catch. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Tannehill. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Giants on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Tannehill. And this is Latimer, complete. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. So we've come upon half. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Here we go.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A first down throw for Cousins. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
To throw on second and 10. Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Gun.
Check Mike 54.
On third down, Cousins. Space to maneuver at the 40. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Key to tight end, key to tight end.
Cousins now from the 50. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Here's Cousins, and that is incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Here we go. 50, plant.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Get it.
And no forward progress here. This is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Well timed there by Richard Sherman, a sack on the corner blitz.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw is Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
The previous play is under review.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Tannehill, open man is Higbee, the tight end.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses.
Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Danielle Hunter in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. Don't like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Hey, no, easy.
Check. 54. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Working out of the gun. Cousins. His throw incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman. Able to get a hand in. This defense tried to do its part. Active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
The throw complete to Beebe. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Gun.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A gain of 13, it's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming back.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 16 yards, a first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And his throw here's incomplete. Cody Latimer, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked. Danielle Hunter in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. 3rd and long, it's Tannehill. And he gets it complete to Latimer. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off. Usually after about 3 to 4 steps, he cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Spencer Ware, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Tannehill. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Tannehill. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the 14-yard line.
Gun!
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Cook running right. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Running for it, here's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.